All right. Hey folks, what's up? I'm just going to go ahead and verify if everything's working as expected before we get in the actual content. Let me see. Uh, Give me a second. All right, this is working. YouTube is working. Now let me go ahead and look at Facebook. Perfect. All right, guys. So audio is working perfectly fine, and I'm straight away going to get into the topic because, again, like I keep saying, that you have to catch these viral trends as you see them and make the most out of it, because this is going to help you get a lot of free traffic. And if you haven't seen my previous video, which was this one, wherein I basically talked about, the Dalgona coffee trend that is currently happening. How viral is it, why is it viral, and how can you take leverage of it, and kind of create content that is relevant to the viral trend and yet relevant to your brand. Now in this particular video, I have another viral trend that I discovered just a few minutes back, and I did not want to kind of hold this back and basically postpone this video creation to a later day. So I just decided to hop on online and create this video right away for you guys, so that you can take the benefit of this as soon as possible and try and apply this. And I also wanted to kind of do some of the research and look at the trends myself on the live stream, so that you guys understand how do I kind of look at these, like what's my point of view, and how do I discover them. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and straight away share my screen right now. Just give me 1 second. Let me switch it to another screen. Uh, Share screen, share my entire screen. So I guess you should be able to look at my entire screen right now, and that is what I want to be showing. Anyways, so guys, in the process, if you have any questions in the process while I talk about this and while I show this to you guys, just go ahead and drop a question in the comment section or the live chat section as you see on your screens right now. So we are going to go ahead with this. Before we move forward and talk about the trend, let me quickly switch my screen and show you my Amazon sales, because that is what is going to get a lot of you guys interested, right? So, and everybody wants to know that. Everybody wants to know how is it going. So, I haven't refreshed this screen in a while. I'm actually going to go ahead and refresh the screen. As you can see, today it is showing one sale, and let me go ahead and refresh this right away. Okay, I have to probably edit that out, but yeah. Just a few hours in, and I've already kind of gone ahead and did about 5 sales. So, unfortunately, I cannot really expand the screen right now, but I've already had 5 sales. The last few, I would say, weeks have been wonderful. As you can see, there is a complete clear uptrend. Anyways, we're not talking about that right now. What we are going to be talking about today is basically the new viral trend that I just discovered, and it is going to be useful for you if you are in any business. Okay, it doesn't really matter if you are in Amazon FBA, private label. Let's say you're trying to build some other sort of business. Let's say you're trying to build a personal brand. Whatever you're trying to do, this video and this information is going to be applicable to you. Okay, so let's jump right away into this, and let me show you what do I mean, and what did I find. So I was actually just going, like, I was just basically browsing my Instagram on my desktop, and I usually do it on my desktop and sometimes on my phone as well. And I discovered this post. Okay, now as you can see, this post is basically a bingo game. Okay, this is posted by Jungle Scout. Okay, and by the way, if you are an Amazon FBA seller, if you are a private label seller, and if you want special rates that only Republic of Sellers subscribers get from Jungle Scout, you have to subscribe to my channel and hit me up on a DM, and I will send you that exclusive link that you can use to get the special rates for Jungle Scout. So putting that aside, I saw this post today in my feed, and this was a post posted by Jungle Scout. Now, what is unique about this? Well, basically, before I saw this post, I had seen this bingo kind of thing in a lot of people's statuses and stories across Instagram and WhatsApp. Okay, so I was observing these things in the last 7 to 8 days, and that was happening across a lot of my, across a lot of followers that are there on my account, and across a lot of people whom I follow myself. So I was seeing this trend, and today, when Jungle Scout posted this, and because this is like a corporate account and it's a business company, it's a software company, then it got me thinking that, hey, there is something cooking here. I think some, like, this is also kind of a trend, and maybe I should go ahead and do some more research. By the way, before we move forward, I must tell you that I recently covered another trend on my Instagram. As you can see, I talked about the Dalgona coffee trend. I discussed all the data points. So if you want to stay ahead in your game, if you want to be updated constantly about whatever trends are there happening on the internet, you must consider following me on Instagram, because I keep talking about these trends. As you can see, there was this other trend a few weeks back, which is something that also which I also covered, and I talked about, how can you use trends to kind of get a lot of attention. So I keep talking about these things. Now let's circle back to the current trend that we are talking about, uh, which is bingo. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in bingo, and as you can see that, a lot of these hashtags are popping up. So and I'm doing this research in live, in real time, in front of you guys, so that you guys understand how do you do this. So as you can see, bingo is like one of the keywords, one of the hashtags. Then there is bingo challenge, then there is bingo story, and then there is bingo games, bingo lotto. So all of these hashtags are popping up. So let me go back to the Jungle Scouts post. So the first thing that I usually look at when I go ahead and, probably see a few people posting about a topic, I click on their post and I look at their hashtags. Like, most of the people on Instagram tend to put hashtags. Okay, so as you can see, the hashtag over here is a bingo card. Okay, and that is the relevant hashtag to this post. Everything else is like a generic hashtag that they might be posting across multiple posts, but I believe they wanted to target bingo card with this. And when you click on bingo card, you will see that there are, about 3,100 posts right now. Now what you should be doing, if you're watching this at a later time, what you should be doing is just compare this number at the time when you're watching this video, and if there is a substantial increase, that means, again, like, this hashtag is rising. Okay, so that would be something that you should be paying attention to. Now when you look at this page, Instagram is basically showing us the top posts for this hashtag, and Instagram is also showing us the most recent post for this hashtag. Now you can see it's not just Jungle Scout who has created this post. There is this other account which is like who have also posted this, and as you can see, just 11 hours ago they have had about 2,100 likes on this post. They've just posted this 11 hours ago. Okay, again, like, this is a very recent post. It just posted 20 hours ago. Again, it's not probably as popular. It completely depends on the kind of audience your bingo board is targeting. Okay, like over here, the theme of this bingo is well-being bingo. Okay, so everything about here, everything that the player needs to check off this list is about, well-being. Okay, let's look at something else. Stay home bingo. Over here, I believe everything that the player needs to kind of check off is going to be somewhere, centered around staying home. And let's look at a few other posts. Uninest bingo. Now I believe this is, this is probably from some university, so they're probably targeting their student audience. And over here, Cleveland self-isolation bingo. So basically, everybody is kind of trying to create then their own kind of bingo sort of post for their particular target audience, for their particular followers and their current audience. So it is something that you need to create for your brand, for your business, and it needs to be relevant to the customers or the people you are intending to target. Okay, so that is the first takeaway from here. Uh, but the way I kind of validate the fact that it is an actual trend is by looking at Google Trends. So let me actually go ahead and go to Google Trends right now. And on this on the screen, you might be able to see that I have basically typed in the search term bingo space card. Okay, now I tried doing this with the other search term, which was hashtag bingo card, but that wouldn't really work, and that wouldn't really basically show you any sort of trend, because people on Google are not searching for hashtags, right? You have to remember this when you're doing such research. People on Google are not searching for hashtags. Okay, on Google, people usually search for keywords, so that is not going to work. But if you want to still understand if there is an uptrend, on the internet, and if there is an uptrend on the internet, it is usually also visible on Google itself. So what you need to be looking at, or the way you need to be searching this on Google, is basically by creating a word out of it. So for our example, I've already searched for bingo card on the left side. Let me go ahead and search for bingo. Just let me search for bingo. So as you can see, like bingo is like much more popular because it's the root keyword. It is bound to be much more popular. Let's look at what other hashtags are people basically creating content with. So bingo challenge. Okay, let's go ahead and search for bingo challenge and bingo story. So bingo challenge. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's search for bingo. And as you can see on my screen, you can go ahead and overlap these search trends, which gives you a very good idea about what keyword is working the most. What was the third one? It was bingo story. Bingo story. Interesting. Super. So something that is very common across all of these three keywords, okay, across all of these three keywords, is that all of them have an uptrend around the 17th of March. So this is very interesting because as you know, I recently covered this on this video on my channel and on my blog post as well. I recently covered, a great deal of information on this video, and especially on my blog post. As you can see over here, this was an extensive report about the trend that is about this Dalgona coffee. So you must read this out. If you haven't read it, you must go ahead and check it out. It was extensively detailed, and this is exactly the steps. These are my exact steps that I do whenever I kind of look at a trend. So I'm just going to be looking at Google Trends for this keyword with you guys on this video right now, but I do all of the things that are mentioned on my blog, so go ahead and check it out. Now, something that you must do is you should always set your trend to worldwide, because let's say you are in the United States and you set this to United States, and let's say it's not yet trending in United States, you may not see that kind of graph. So let's see. So it is still there is an uptrend, but this wasn't the case with the previous viral trend that I discovered. Okay, we did not have an uptrend in US at the moment. That meant that it is basically still to start trending in US. Okay, but usually I like to just set it to worldwide. I usually set my time range to 90 days, but you should look at past 30 days as well. Now that would also, okay, so that is going to basically help us narrow down to a particular week or even to a day sometimes, and help us figure out when did this start trending. Okay, so it has just started to trend just a couple of weeks back, and that is actually when I have started to see this on my social accounts as well. Now let's look at the last 7 days, and you might see a lot of bumps here. Okay, so it also seems to be kind of flattening out, but you should not worry about that, because it's generally on an uptrend and it is going to stick there at least for a couple of weeks. So whenever something actually starts trending, it sticks there at least for a couple of weeks. Okay, so what you need to do now is you need to basically think about your audience. Okay, you can kind of take a lot of inspiration over here, or you can start looking at the accounts which are very relevant or which have very related audience as to your brand. And then what you should be doing is you should basically create a bingo that would make sense for your audience. Okay, and keep it simple. Like as you can see on this particular post, which was the stay home post that we just saw, uh, it doesn't really need to be as verbose or as heavy. It has to be super simple. It can be as simple as this, the NYC edition bingo. So keep it simple. Okay, create something that is relevant to your audience and put it out there and start uh, you know making like start making some awareness around the fact that hey, you have this. And what you can also do is you can kind of go ahead and keep a prize for the winner who finishes this for the very first time. Okay, and that could be a real thing. Maybe you can just give away a small gift card voucher. Maybe you can give away N95 masks, or whatever you can give away. You should kind of keep that as a prize, because then that would motivate your audience to actually create content, strike these options off, and put them on the story by tagging you. And when they do that, and when a bunch of people start doing that, you will start getting a lot of attention on the internet. The people who put that up on their story would actually make their network aware of the fact that hey, this company is basically, or this business is basically running this offer, and that could get you a lot of traction and attention. So try this out, experiment, keep an eye for this, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell as well, so that you are notified when I come on live, because the sooner you catch these trends, the better it is for you to get that free attention while it lasts. And as you saw on the graph, it doesn't really stick for much long. And you must consider following me on Instagram as well, because that is where I talk about these things as soon as I see them. And you can also basically look at my posts, see how do I create content, and DM me if you want to brainstorm on a certain idea. I would be more than happy to kind of have a conversation with you. With that, I will be signing off. This is Rish, signing off once again from Republic of Sellers, only to come back to you once again later on with another viral trend. Adios.